If we were to plot a graph specifically looking at your happiness when you take part in what I call easy dopamine activities. Easy dopamine is the things that you can get instantly, so it's like playing games, watching Netflix, eating junk food, essentially things that bring you a little bit of happiness right now, but you know that it's not really good for you. I think what we'll see is your baseline happiness will go up every time you take part in the easy activity. The problem with this is that it's only a little bump, and then after the bump, after you've actually started watching Netflix or eating the junk food, almost immediately you'll start seeing the negatives. For the majority of people, spending hours watching Netflix and eating junk food is not good for them, and your mind knows that. So what we'll see in a graph of you taking part in easy dopamines is a bump every time you're about to do that activity, but after you're done with that activity, you'll actually see a baseline happiness decrease over time. Now we compare this to hard dopamines. What we'll actually see is a decrease on your happiness when you're about to do the hard activity, and that makes sense. You don't really feel happy when you're just about to go to work. A lot of people want to lose weight and they want to eat healthier. Every time you're about to eat a healthy meal that you're less passionate about than a junk food meal, your happiness would drop a little bit. Honestly, it would. But your baseline happiness over time would go higher and higher with these hard dopamines. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Because after a week of eating healthy foods, you would just feel happier and more proud of yourself than after a week of eating just junk food. I'm now 2 weeks into a dopamine detox, and honestly, it feels a bit life-changing. I'll be completely honest to you guys, I have slipped up a bunch of times in the 2 weeks. Obviously, in a dopamine detox, you're not supposed to do anything that brings you excess dopamine. You're not supposed to use the internet much, especially not things like social media and anything that's seen as like conventional fun. While I've stayed away from the things that I did want to decrease in my life, like just scrolling on social media, especially Reddit and Instagram, I have slipped up a couple of times, and I'll be honest about that. I have watched a couple of YouTube videos here and there, and I have posted to social media a couple of times. So I go to post my YouTube video, I end up getting bombarded by the other YouTube recommendations on my front page. Obviously, I always used to see those, but now that I haven't really seen much dopamine recently, it feels different. It feels like I'm almost like a zombie when I click on youtube.com to upload my videos. It's like I get hit with each suggestion and my mind just kind of like fucks up, and it's like I can't even pull myself away fast enough. Even though I can think that it's not good for me, I find myself consumed by it for a couple of seconds. But honestly, sometimes I look back at the time and I've ended up watching YouTube for like a whole hour straight, and it only felt like a couple of minutes. So I was interested in doing this dopamine detox for a while. I've pretty much been replicating something quite similar for a long time. I've always wanted to like reduce my internet usage, reduce especially social media, so I've finally done that. If someone watched you while scrolling through those or whilst watching Netflix laying on your side, they wouldn't really say that you were having a huge deal of fun. I think that for the majority of the time that you're spending watching these things, you'd just be sat there like barely even laughing, just kind of like just watching it, and obviously it's just not that fun after a while. I've wanted to just bring myself back into nature and into sort of normal life, which, well, it's the opposite of that, to be honest, because normal life is the dopamine filled zombie world that I feel like we live in now, and that is just completely normal. And once you peel back the layers, it feels like I'm kind of like a child again. I've been smiling a lot more, and what's interesting is that I lived quite a negative lifestyle for a while, and I used to feel like I had what I called negative thoughts almost every day, which just made me feel uncomfortable. It made me feel almost like a failure. I finally realized that those thoughts that I was having were simply just my brain literally just telling me what to do, and because I wasn't listening to it, it became negative. It became like I didn't feel so good. So I started listening to it and I feel better. So to replicate a dopamine detox, what I have done is I didn't even delete the apps off my phone, because I know that that's something that a lot of people say to do, and then you just end up downloading it again, because deleting it and throwing away junk food is not such a good idea in my opinion because you can just always get them back again. I wanted to have the junk food in front of me. I wanted to have the apps on my phone in front of me, and for my willpower to say no to them. And honestly, even above that, not even to say no, but to just not really have them in my mind. So I'll put up a little screenshot of my timetable that I made for myself, and I've been sticking to it quite well. I've been now waking up and doing like 12 hours of hard brain frying work every single day, and this is probably the best I've felt in a couple of years. In terms of more personal development, you can see from this sort of video I'll show now that I was struggling with sticking to some goals that I had to do, some gratitude journaling and some meditation, and for most of May I did kind of struggle to do that. And just when I started this dopamine detox, you can see that I've literally done each one every single day in a row now. So if anyone is watching this, it's likely that you either are doing a dopamine detox right now because it's kind of like an online trend, or you may be considering it. And so I wanted to do some kind of advice if anyone is kind of debating it, and signs that you actually should do one. First things first, if you're watching this video and you've got a voice deep inside of you literally almost wanting to jump out at this idea, you can feel it right now. You'll know right here, or you'll know for the last few minutes you've been watching this video, if this is how you feel. And I urge you to just be confident in your thoughts and know that that is the thing that will make you happier. If it's so clear to you in your mind right now that this is something that you're kind of excited to do, then I really do urge you to just start right now. Don't plan it, don't do anything. Start right now. Very, very drastically reduce the easy dopamines in your life, and very, very drastically increase the hard dopamines in your life. If you've been finding yourself recently feeling unfulfilled with life and feeling like your thoughts are overriding what you're currently doing, for example, you're watching movies or you're on Netflix or you're playing video games and you find that you're not really having fun, then why even do them? Because it's not like they're giving you any kind of reward or achievement, and you're not feeling proud of them either way. So if you're not enjoying those activities, then you may as well just cut them out and switch it to something that you genuinely feel is hard. I've spoke about a dopamine detox to a couple of my friends, and I just thought that I'm preaching this kind of idea without me even doing it. So finally I have done it. I haven't done a complete detox, as I have mentioned, so I will be completely honest here. It's been a very kind of drastic decrease, and honestly I feel fantastic. I've been exercising every single day without fail. I feel like I've lost a decent amount of weight. I feel like I'm in pretty good shape right now as well. What if the reason why so many of us feel quite depressed and quite unhappy with life and quite unfulfilled is because we have taken part in these easy dopamines for too long, so that now those lagging results, those lagging negatives have finally caught up. And all we have to do to reverse that is to do the hard dopamine activities for long enough so that the lagging results, so the lagging positives of it, actually hit us. It's this idea that when you go to the gym and you go and exercise today, you're actually making visible muscle for a month or 2 months down the road. And if you consistently then exercise for 2 months, those results will lag behind, but eventually they will stack on top of each other. So the more you just do the hard activity, the more those results will compound into each other and just probably make you feel happier. I can't say for certain, but I can tell you how I feel. So after 2 weeks now of specifically doing the hard dopamine activities, I would honestly say that I feel fantastic. I've achieved quite a lot in these 2 weeks that I feel like I've always tried to be a high performance guy and I've always struggled to, but now it's like I crave it. Honestly, no, that's not even right. It's not that I crave it, it's that it's just routine. I've been waking up at 6 a.m. and it just feels like a routine now. It doesn't even feel difficult, it just feels like life. Whereas 2-3 weeks ago, it felt like life to wake up at 9 and to wake up and just kind of sit around. And that's the difference. Now I wake up and straight after I've exercised in the morning, and I'm exercising for around 3 to 4 hours every single day now. I know that's intense, and I know that people will say it's overtraining, but honestly I feel amazing. So if there's anyone watching this who is contemplating to do a dopamine detox, I strongly advise you to just listen to the thought in your mind. If it's telling you to do one and you've watched all of this video so far, it's very clear that you should do one. You should just trust your mind because it's telling you what it literally wants you to do. Now, I feel like if you're one of those people who don't need to do one, you probably didn't even watch this far anyway, so that's fine. Some people genuinely can go about life just enjoying the easy things, and honestly, props to them, because that's, if you can have an easy life and you feel happy, that's the best of both worlds. If you've got an easy life and you don't feel happy, you may as well try and go for the hard life and at least feel proud and accomplished. So that's it for this video. If you are planning to do a dopamine detox and you want a little bit of more help, a bit of extra help with it, what you can do is leave a comment below and just comment how many days you want to do it for. That's it. I would just strongly advise you, just comment how many days you want to at least try it for. I'd say do at least a couple of days, and what I will do is I will personally reply to your comment in that amount of days and ask you how it went and try to keep you on track as well. I kind of wish someone did that for me in the first place, but to be honest, I managed fine by myself anyway. So, but you might like the extra help, the extra sort of accountability. So that's it. And while I've got you here, I may as well hit some tricep dips for the camera, show the muscles off, eh? Also, if you're interested in a new training style, I just got these gymnast rings and I'm really liking them. So I've done a video that you can click on somewhere and get yourself a pair of these rings and you can start training in nature. So just click on the link right now, it'll be somewhere here. All right, start your dopamine detox.